Welcome back to Entrepreneurial Insights. Amongst being an entrepreneur, this week's guest is an author, social media influencer, college student, and a really good friend of mine. Today, John Hansberry shares what inspires and motivates him to pursue his ventures, and how he turned his passion into a business. His company, JQBasketball Training, trains basketball players of all ages and abilities through individual or group sessions, as well as camps and clinics. On top of that, he maintains JQBasketball Training as a personal brand, and he's very focused on promoting his message. And that is what we'll first talk about. All right, I'm here today with John Hansberry. John, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
JQBasketball Training is the business, rocking the shirt.
Go get your merch. We're here.
So you talk about your message.
Absolutely.
What's the message?
Yeah, and I don't know. That is one way to put it. It's ever evolving. When you get into certain things, you start with one thing. It could be just basketball training, and then I might have a message with that. And then there's other things, that I might have a message with certain books that I write, or from different experiences that I have in my life that really have impacted me. Those things, I might have a different message for that. But I'd say my overarching message, which I guess you could say would be a message, would be my tagline. It says, "No excuse, just produce."
Okay.
Right? And if you want me to go into that, I can. Basically, I don't like excuses. I don't like people talking about doing something and then not doing it, or just saying that they can't do something. Because there's always room to find something that happens. So there's no excuse, especially in today's world. I'll tell you, we have the internet. We have so many resources at our disposal. Like, there's so many things that you can learn, and people, have the ignorance to say that they can't learn something or they can't do something. Google it, right?
Right.
Gary Vaynerchuk says that all the time, but just Google it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's right there for you to learn and everything you do. So that's my main thing. I don't want to get on a tangent there, but no excuses. You got to just produce what you can, produce what you want to, produce what you want to do. So
That's great.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you come across some things, even in your entrepreneurial journey, things you've probably had to Google, look up, and learn.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and being an entrepreneur, I'm hesitant to call myself that. I know there's a textbook definition, you own a business and you're an entrepreneur. But
we're selling the video as that, so.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'll have to take that. But when you start on this entrepreneurial journey, if we're calling it that, you don't know a lot of different things. When I jumped into this, I thought it was just going to be training basketball players. No, you have to learn how to do your taxes,
right.
In certain ways. You have to learn how to edit videos. You have to learn how to film. You have to learn how to talk to people better. You have to learn how to create relationships. You have to learn how to, do the basketball training stuff and know all that lingo and everything with that. So there's so many different dynamics, and you have to learn so much, and, there's no excuse for not learning that. You can learn it, and you can develop those skills. So that's what I want to put out to you guys, is there's no excuses. You got to produce.
I like it.
Absolutely.
You talk about learning is key. Is there a specific way do you like to do that? Do you have a favorite entrepreneurial book? Do you have a specific mentor maybe?
Right. Books. When I think of books, I never really liked reading growing up.
Yeah.
For sure. I never enjoyed, especially novels. I hated reading novels. I hate reading the stories. But anyway, two books come to mind for sure. There's one by Dre Baldwin. It's called, don't quote me, it's a long title, but it's basically keys to the athlete's mindset or professional athlete's mindset in business, life, and some other thing. But that was a really good book that really outlined how you have to have personal initiative and self-belief in yourself beyond anything that you could ever do. So that was kind of like a mindset type of book that I read that really gets you into that frame of mind where, you can, have no excuses and just produce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to tie it back there. But another book is Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It. It came out about 3 years ago. That's a really good book if you want to learn how to develop social media skills and gain attention in places that are not being garnered right now. So you're trying to find attention in places where people are not looking for it, but they're there. So it's very interesting to see, and it's a great book if you want to read it. It's a little bit dated. It's about 3 years old. So, some of the things are a little bit dated in there, but it still has great principles and great ways that you can go about marketing yourself on social media.
That's great.
Absolutely.
I think another thing that it always inspires me, you're always out there doing something.
Yeah.
Whether it goes bad or good, you always are very committed.
For sure.
And ambitious, and I always admired that. So what inspires you? You're very driven. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
Right.
What inspires that drive to keep going, to keep trying things, even when you hit failure?
Right. Yeah, and that's a tough question to say, to pinpoint, because there's a lot of different motivations that come from different places, from over here and over here.
Right.
But I definitely say a big part of it is trying to be different. And that's kind of, it's a weird thing to say nowadays because everyone says, oh, you're all unique, but I really want to be different than the crowd in a lot of different ways. When I first decided I wanted to write a book, a part of that was not just because I wanted to put my message out there, but because of, I don't know anyone else who's my age at 19, when I was 19, who was writing a book. I didn't know anyone who published books when they were 19, so I just wanted to be different. I wanted to be able to be unique and put myself out there a certain way that made me special, made me, stand out from the crowd. So that's a big motivation that I definitely say I have. That's very self-centered, I guess you could say, but that's just a part of it, I guess. And that's what, you have to put yourself out there. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to be able to believe in yourself, like, beyond what anyone else, believes in you for sure. Like, you can't, there's some entrepreneurs out there, not too many that I've met, I haven't met too many, but they won't even believe in their product that much. They won't really get behind it. Like, this is your product. Like, this is, for me, like, my product is a lot of it myself. So I have to get behind myself, like, 100%. Like, I have to put videos out. People don't want to put videos out because they think they sound weird. You know what I mean? You have to be able to put yourself out there. So all that back, it's kind of self-centered, but being different than everyone else. That's kind of my motivation.
Great.
Absolutely.
A lot of entrepreneurs like to put their daily routine out there. What their fundamental routine for success. Do you have any big, unique things you do as part of your daily routine?
Right. So a lot of entrepreneurs have their daily routine set up because they have, their life is pretty standard, They have their day and they, usually, successful entrepreneurs, they'll have their day pretty much set up because they don't have, a lot of different things going on. They have it down to a system, down to a science. Mine isn't at that point yet as much because I'm still a college student. I still be going home or I'll be at school in the dorm. So it's kind of different in different places. So my daily routine will kind of vary. I do definitely like to read every day for about a half an hour. So that's one of my things that I do in my daily routine. I work out every day as well. That's about an hour to an hour and a half. I like to run for about 30 minutes. Depends on my routine, obviously, because right now I'm training for a half marathon. So I'm, building on that a little bit more. So it's sometimes more than 30 minutes a day running. And then I always hit the weights 45 minutes a day usually. But like I said, it's very sporadic sometimes because of different things that are going on. And then every day, you do your standard, check your emails, check your messages, check your Facebook ads, see how they're, see how they're doing, see what you need to, tweak to make them a little bit more profitable later, those sorts of things, So I definitely like to do that every day. So those are really the three big things that I like to do. And usually once a week or twice a week, I like to get out on a walk, no music, no nothing, and just walk, It's very peaceful, keeps your mind at ease.
It's a zen.
Find my zen, per se. Yeah, no, you definitely, it's good for your soul. I definitely say so.
That's great.
Those are some of my daily routine things,
Yeah, that's good. And what are you most excited about for the future of JQ? What's coming next?
Right. So JQ is I'm looking to have it be a personal brand for as long as possible, so something that I can always have on the side. I don't know about doing it full time yet, but when I look at the opportunities in the future, so I'm about to graduate college next May. So after that, there's a decision that has to be made, whether I do this full time or I try to do something else. So I'm thinking I'll probably put this on the side, but I want to continue to grow the Instagram, continue to grow my page that way, and continue to grow YouTube, all those sorts of things. I want to continue to write books as well. I'm writing a book right now on sports and mental health.
Oh, wow.
And how there's a big, I guess you could say it's not very spoken of in the culture of the United States right now, because athletes have a lot of issues with mental health that just get swept under the rug quite a bit, whether that be at the collegiate level, high school level, even younger. So I'm definitely diving into that and seeing, I want this to become, well aware. People should become aware of the issues that athletes go through on a daily basis. So that's another book that I'm writing right now that I think that is going to, develop more of my message of JQ Basketball Training.
Yeah.
And then just continue to do more events, clinics, camps. Just want to do those all I can, collaborate with other trainers, train bigger and better players all the time. So just continue to grow it like it's going.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And if you want to check out JQ, Instagram will be in the description, as well as links to his website.
Yep.
Get some of his books. Get a cool V-neck T-shirt that just came out with V-necks.
Absolutely. They're not on the website yet, but just stay tuned. They'll be on there in a little bit. You'll be able to get them. You'll be able to purchase. So
yeah.
These will be great.
Good deal. And until the next video, no excuse.
Just produce.
Thanks a lot.